Greetings and bienvenue, Midnight Crew. Thank you for returning to this broadcast, and welcome to new viewers joining us for the first time. If you like a video, then feel free to subscribe.
Alright, you LARPers, this is straight truth that I'm going to be dropping on you guys. Take it or leave it, screen cap it, because I legitimately might be killed for uploading this. I don't care, however, because this is disgusting, and I did not ask for this. Neither did the thousands of people in my hometown, Brandon, Manitoba. This started when I moved out with my 46-year-old co-worker, Elizabeth. I just turned 18 at the time. She was okay, but I noticed once that when I went to the gym, she came and talked to the receptionist. Whatever, maybe she wants to make sure I'm going to the gym, I don't care. From then on, whenever I go to the gym, I notice the receptionist goes for the phone. Well, alright, that's creepy. As time goes on, we have drunk, me mostly, relations. After that goes downhill and she starts talking shit about me at work. I notice people are treating me differently. I end up moving out because she starts giving off some screwed up vibes, saying shit like, everything is going to plan, and don't you hate how women can say you attacked them and get away with it, while she laughs. Says she knows where my grandparents live, etc. I move to another location, a house with 4 rooms on the 2nd floor. First neighbor is short and fat, named Raymond. The second is some drunk guy and his girl, and the third is a sweet old lady. I can't remember her name, so let's call her Beth. Anyways, I move in and Raymond comes into my room talking all the shit in the world about the drunk guy. Let's call him Ron. He's very paranoid about mice, so he gets me to put some wire around an opening in my room. Throughout the month he does things like this. He comes in and talks shit and vents about his workday. I listen cause I'm bored. One day he knocks and looks at the door frame and notices it is sticking out, so he said he would fix it if I didn't tell Jim. Okay, creepy. I end up telling him about the crazy witch Elizabeth who is now stalking me. I saw her walk past my place. Which isn't too crazy because the town only has 40,000 people in it. However, she was coming back from a store, so I know she could have taken a quicker route back. At this point, I know Raymond is talking to her. I was in my room trying to sleep and I heard Raymond in the public bathroom saying, "Hi, yes, this is Braden." And then the cop showed up later to take Ron away. I didn't mention anything about this to the landlord. Another incident occurred when I was walking up the stairs to my room and Raymond was talking to me. Then mid-sentence he punched the wall and said "asshole" really loud, maybe in an attempt to frame me as if the landlord was there. Things escalated greatly from there as he was talking about electrocuting people to death if they mess with him. Note, my bed was next to an electrical plug, which I didn't notice at first. Cover was off. By the way, I believe I got herpes from Elizabeth as I found herpes medication in our bathroom. She didn't tell me. One night I was in my room and I noticed that the vents in my room were broken and had cigarettes in them, which Raymond was very against. He always complained about smelling cigarettes in the house. Suddenly I heard Raymond in the bathroom messing around with things and my heart rate increased while dry skin was coming off my legs. I opened the window to get rid of whatever was coming out of the vent, but it didn't work, so I called the cops, and Raymond went back into his room like the coward he is. This is my first time typing this out. I apologize for the wait, but you need to know the backstory. The police escorted me to the hospital where everything was fine. When I went out for a smoke, I saw Elizabeth and Raymond walking away really fast. Doctors there asked me if I wanted to go to the Center for Adult Psychiatry, which I voluntarily admitted myself to because I was dealing with a lot of stress at the time. They escorted me to CAP and I was greeted by seemingly friendly staff. However, there was a problem. There was this Russian Thomas Edward Edwins, or Thomas Edwin Edwards, who followed me around whenever I went out for a smoke, etc. He was a very intense, cheeky breeky. I have to say he had the 1,000-yard stare. He would ask me why I'm here and how this is a bad place that would still be standing when I left. There was this Inuit kid that was there. I saw him running out the doors and escaping. No one ever spoke of him again. When I first got there, I heard Raymond speaking in the basement and saying how they were good people. About a week into my time there, my days were filled with dread as I waited for something to happen. Then came along Aaron. Aaron I believe to be an FBI, CSIS, or RCMP agent, as she questioned me about a girl that I had a time with that would later screw me over. At the time, I didn't say Elizabeth because I thought she was with this creep Tom. She kept on questioning me about people that put people into small places. I remember drawing a diagram of a neural network for her to show her how it works. She thought those were the small places that people are put into. When I said I didn't know what she was talking about, she seemed surprised. Then one night I went for a jog on the treadmill they had there, and right after I was done, Lauren, a nurse there, came to get my baseline heart rate. I told other staff about it, and I heard Lauren say something about not calling the police, telling the other staff to stay quiet. At this point, I knew something was up. When I went to my bed, I rubbed my bed sheets together, which produced a lot of static electricity. I laid down for a while, accepting what was going to happen, but then I heard a scream from Aaron in the observatory room, a locked-up room with cameras in it. So I walked out and talked to another patient that was walking around. We had a smoke while this 70-year-old named Dennis knew Tom, followed us and asked us if we had any last words. I went back to my room and was getting full-on electrocuted, and I knew from Aaron talking previously that the plows outside were actually the FBI, CSIS, or RCMP, so I started praying to them to come help out loud. And I also said if that anyone was FBI in the Center for Adult Psychiatry to say my name is Jonathan when they approach me. That one patient said that as he passed me, and I asked him what was going on. He said to grab the pool cue and use it as a bat on the nurses. He thought that I was fucking with his heart, which I was not, as I was being fucked with as well. He left for bed, and at this point I was shitting bricks. I left for my bed but came back later to see Brian, a nurse, unconscious or dead in his seat at the receptionist desk. Naturally, I nope out of there, however Lauren sees me. Now I'm in my bed praying with all my might for God to help me survive this hell. The power goes off a couple times and eventually the plows turn off, implying that the nurses are listening in on my pleas for life, and they made a move. My heart rate is through the roof and I'm sweating because scared shitless. Doors are slamming shut and open, and Lauren keeps on coming in to check on me. Near the end of the night, Lauren comes in to check on me and I stare her dead in the eyes for 10 seconds straight. By the time morning has come, I'm sleep deprived and debating whether I should kill myself by putting my finger in the plug-in with water all over it because I don't want to do this. I end up staying alive and eating breakfast, however everyone is different in that they have lost hair and have bags under their eyes. I sit down and eat breakfast when Tom sits across from me and is talking about how lucky I am. Later that morning, the police came in and talked to Aaron, to which she said that Lauren went insane. However, I wasn't allowed to talk to the cops. Aaron kept on saying she was an actress, which really sealed the deal on the fact that she was on my side. Later that day, Aaron was on the phone, to which she said that I betrayed her as I walked past her. I just messed up a very important operation because of my pathetic pleading. As days go by, the patients are always laughing like maniacs, especially when someone screams. I get moved to another room with a hospital bed that is plugged into the wall. I unplug that shit right away, obviously. One day I hear Aaron say magic fish Ganta, and she consequently says that the building is surrounded by the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, saying how the staff is so fucked. I hear her make a quick scream, then nothing. 2 minutes later, she says I'm the PDF file, and the vans leave the building. At this point, I know she wasn't the same person. She was investigating Elizabeth. I hear everyone is laughing more than usual outside my room, and I hear another patient tell somebody to get out of her room, then a muffled scream along with a bunch of maniac hysteria from the other patients. Later, I'm sitting by the exit door and Aaron comes up and asks me if I'm a robot. She called Jeff, a male staff there, an android earlier. I didn't reply, so she told me to commit something to memory, as at this point I know she is an android. I don't respond, just stay there staring at the door. Nigel, an artilleryman in the army, was also there. However, he was cloned rather quickly, and I remember him coming up to me and saying I look like I'm bearing the world on my shoulders and that he can't read me. So days go on, and Cap needs to get a new washing machine because the other one burnt out, which leads me to believe that Aaron was talking about these people putting people into washing machines. Throughout the whole time, I'm allowed passes to my family, however they start acting weird. They're laughing when they normally wouldn't, and I noticed that my dad had a pipe sticking up from the house that connects to the washing machine. I know my dad is an android now. When I'm leaving back to Cap, I ask my dad for a lighter and put it in my pocket. When I return, the receptionist asks for my lighters and I say I don't got any. She then says something about honesty, to which I again say I don't have one. She never asks this when I come back, but today she did, proving that they are connected through a hive mind consciousness. Another example of this is when I'm telling Jeff about Elizabeth. She always said, "These are good people," or "They're good people," etc. So when Jeff said the people here are good people, I knew he had something to do with Elizabeth. It was just a suspicion then. I didn't yet realize they were connected. In my final days, their stuff got intense. Patients were talking about the staff torturing, killing, and eating the other patients. When it is finally my day to discharge, everyone is seemingly on edge. They would look out the windows waiting for something, almost scared. When my ride was finally there, I got discharged and was misdiagnosed with schizophrenia or psychosis. I don't know, I can't read the Android doc's messy ass writing. My mom was taking me back to her place where I was going to stay for a little bit when there were a few black vehicles following us on the freeway. She called them stupid and sped up while the other androids kept the feds behind them, preventing them from chasing us. So yeah, that's about it. I have more stuff to talk about if anybody is willing. Here is their website if you're interested. Linked below. I barely got out with my life. I'm grateful to be alive. However, knowing that this is still going on is making me sick to my stomach. I haven't contacted the police as I fear being put back in there because who the fuck would believe this? I know it's hard to believe, but trust me, this is the truest happening thread you'll ever see in your life. This is happening. Proof for you assholes.
What is it exactly that you think that image proves?
The fact that I was in that facility back in February.
Proving that you're a schizo doesn't add any credibility to your schizophrenic rambling.
You just took the washing machine part from this thread.
I had never said they were glowing green under their skin. I don't think I did. They were glowing the same as their ships, as a sort of white/yellowy bluish color. I don't have a word for it, but it wasn't an earth color. I speculate on the machinery, but there were bits and pieces poking out through the skin and holes in the skin, due to some people's skin going necrotic. The machinery under the skin looked like a very similar stone gray as their ships. The skin was pretty contorted on their bodies in some cases though. As I said, multiple eyes covered by the skin sometimes. Or others where the skin didn't exactly fit them right. They still had mouths though, but I don't think it was for eating. I think perhaps it helped them grab onto people or for the express purpose of killing or subduing them. I don't even know if they were technically alive or if they themselves were just biological machines. Some of them really seemed like they wanted the skin as trophies more than anything though. They collected it and some of them were wearing multiple layers. And as I said, I have no idea whatsoever as to why they would liquefy the people and put them in the dryer machines in the warehouses. Surely they had some purpose, but I don't know. It could just be as simple as storage or perhaps some religious purpose of theirs. They seem to have some interest in Zoroastrianism, as I said. I don't know how even a breakaway civilization could fight them though. From my understanding, they were possibly the first intelligent species ever throughout all dimensions. Or one of the first anyways. I can't imagine anyone from this planet could even fathom a way to fight them. It would have had to have been someone else out there on their technological level.
Holy shit, other people know about this. For your information, this happened in winter. I've never even seen that thread.
OP, I'm not going to jump to the typical "you're a schizo," but look at it like this. If you were browsing /x/ and you read all that you wrote, wouldn't you think it's a bit nutty? Put yourself in our shoes, amigo.
Do you understand what this means? We are literally going to go extinct in the next 72 years. Look, I know this looks batshit insane, but this is my experience of what happened. And with the other anon posting about the liquid skin, a lot of this makes sense.
Alberta here. First of all, fuck you. But you have my attention. Unfortunately, if true, I'm sorry for you, for there is nothing to do. Always have a weapon. I'm beginning to suspect you made a bad decision. These don't sound like people you are comfortable with. And now your brain is under so much stress it goes into survival mode. It begins to see danger where there is none because it's in overdrive. If you don't change this, you may become afflicted with a mental disorder. Well, I've been there. I think it was good you were in the hospital. But they do drug the food. And they spread rumors. They do all kinds of weird shit. When I was in, they would bang on the roof and walls, set off the alarms. Be complete assholes. Be really, really nice. They do this to gauge your reaction. It's cruel but effectively determines your condition by exposing you to stress and seeing how you react. You need to understand that, yeah, all that was pretty fucked up, but that's it. Make better decisions, healthy decisions. This is a true story. I hope you are recovering well. Just focus on yourself.
This is real. People are going there and being killed day in, day out, comrade. This needs to stop. I posted this to a bunch of law enforcement Twitter accounts, but my account got locked. Please help, you have to spread this. If what the other guy is posting is real, then we really are fucked if we don't act now.
Long story. Can you tell it concisely using these as bullet points?
This is real. People are going there and being killed day in, day out, comrade. This needs to stop. I posted this to a bunch of law enforcement Twitter accounts, but my account got locked. Please help, you have to spread this. If what the other guy is posting is real, then we really are fucked if we don't act now.
If it's happening, they wouldn't want you to blow the whistle. With the information provided, they could easily find out who you are.
I know this. It's my last shot at setting this right.
My dude, your entire story is like a textbook schizophrenic episode. All those people are telling you they're good people because they are worried about you and can tell you don't trust the hospital staff. You probably shouldn't post stuff like this, and if you don't want to go back there, you should consider seeing if you can get an antipsychotic prescription elsewhere, as the meds might stop you from seeing all these people as androids.
Good people or not, the way everyone surrounds and talks about individuals going through OP's situation really ruins how they perceive reality. You don't treat people like this. It fucks with them.
Mental health is a tough industry, and somebody with this level of paranoia can be hard to help. You have to balance reassurance without reinforcing delusion. And when it's your job and there's tons of other patients to deal with, a lot of people struggle to maintain compassion with management. Part of why so many people just get totally zonked out on sedatives. If OP can find a psychiatrist outside a hospital setting, he'll be better off because they won't have as much pressure as many patients. Easier said than done when somebody is in the throes of an episode. I feel for you, OP. People can help, but you gotta take it.
Man, I almost got murdered. This isn't all in my head, however much I wish it was. Static electricity sparking off blankets, police surrounding the building, people screaming for help, power getting shut off, etc., etc. Is there any legal action I can take against these monsters?
I'm not saying it's all in your head. You were in a psychiatric facility, and there are all kinds of stressful things that happen there, including cops and nurses physically handling aggressive and violent patients, and people saying all kinds of weird things and generally surreal behavior. So I'm not approaching this from trying to tell you none of these things happened. But for instance, the Hivemind stuff could easily be explained by hospital staff having protocol and training to try specific phrases and procedures, and from your family friends having mutual goals of getting you help. And police and staff can definitely be forceful too. So if you felt aggression, that's not invalid. But they aren't trying to kill you. Other patients can also be aggressive. Doesn't mean they're aliens, clones, or androids. A psychiatric hospital is an environment where people are either mentally ill or having to manage severely mentally ill people. It's a stressful environment. Try and get a one-on-one appointment with a psychiatrist. It's a lot less stressful if you find one you can trust. Just give it a try. Most want to help. And if you're not sick, all you'll lose is a bit of time.
Well, the FBI/CSI/RCMP agent mentioned androids. Why would she lie? She mentioned clones too. So if they are android clones, what's to stop them from being connected somehow? Should I EMP a nurse and see what happens? LOL JK, but really, I almost got murdered by being shocked to death.
How do you know they were an agent? Keep in mind when you're in a facility like that, there are all kinds of liars and delusional personalities. Weird things are said all the time in those kinds of places. Is it possible you were given electroshock treatment? It's not terribly common, but it is still used at times. If it was something else, it still could have been an accident or negligence.
I knew because after she said a code word, the building was surrounded by black vehicles.
Not gonna lie, former schizo here. This is hilarious watching OP rant and rave, but in all seriousness, we can't let this guy reveal the washing machine clones.
You can tell he's still balls deep in it by how you can barely follow the story. Like I had no idea what's going on.
Yeah, honestly, anyone who knows anything about mental illness could tell by his prose alone that his cheese is off the cracker, regardless of the subject matter. I genuinely laughed every time he interjected some random fact or name that didn't add anything. Ma herpes.
The herpes bit makes sense because I thought this was a conspiracy against me by Elizabeth to prevent me from getting her charged. I thought maybe she paid off the docs to diagnose me with schizo and fuck up my blood tests.
It makes sense in your head because you're insane. My man, please seek help. You were not misdiagnosed with anything. Speaking as another insane, delusional person who has it under control. I was fucking around with you before because I thought you were bullshitting and it was fun, but if you're serious, you really need to seek help to find stability. Don't let your delusions ruin your life.
I'm not insane. This is real and people are dying. You will too if no one finds out about this.
Dude, I would have been just fine if I didn't read your schizo rambling because it's not really happening. You're balls deep in a delusion. It's all right, I understand. Please don't worry so much. Nobody is dying because of clone washing machine monsters or something.
Welcome to the Schizophrenia Club, OP. I'm so sorry.
You are clearly being gang-stalked. This place is a honeypot to create psychos op. Just leave, ignore them, defend yourself if need be. That's it. And as you said, most of them are cowards and literally try to get you to hurt yourself.
I hope that you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. If you enjoyed tonight's story, then please subscribe to the channel as more green texts will appear daily. A new broadcast will appear when the clock strikes midnight Central Time.
Remember to check the Odyssey and Rumble pages for separate archives of previous broadcasts.